are in. Hello. Here. Oh, cool.
What would happen if it could be proved that dinosaurs lived with man? How would that impact the theory of evolution? Now we know why the belief in evolution that is taught in science classes is so frail that it is carefully guarded from being challenged. The meaning of evolution is that in time new information is being added, which is anti-science, because it tries to get science to do things it cannot do. The first law of thermodynamics is violated by the belief in evolution. The first law of thermodynamics states that nothing can be created or destroyed, and you cannot get more energy and information than what you started out with. This one law disproves evolution that is so dogmatically taught in our government-funded schools and some religious schools that are masquerading as Christian schools. Then you have the second law of thermodynamics, which states that everything goes from order to disorder. Information begins to break down and becomes more random in time. Time is not our friend, it is our enemy. For in time, we all get old and die. Two people, a creationist and an evolutionist, can have the same evidence and see things completely different. Everyone starts off with a bias, a starting point. So the question is, which bias is the better bias to be biased with?
Well, here we are at the Colorado National Monument. And behind me here is a canyon, and of course over here we have a side canyon. And what is so fascinating about this place is you can see all these pancake-like layers that are going up the side of the canyon. Now you notice that when you look at those pancake-like layers, there's no erosion marks between them. So that would be kind of like, if you like pancakes, you put one pancake on top of the other, and then you come along and you try to eat those pancakes, and somebody slaps another pancake down before you can erode the top pancake. And before you can erode the top pancake, a person throws another pancake down, and you can never seem to erode the top pancake because new layers or new pancakes keep getting put on top of the top pancake. And so that's what's so fascinating about the Colorado Plateau, the Grand Circle, the Grand Canyon, everything that you see here in the Colorado National Monument, canyonlands and arches. It is all demonstrated that all these layers were laid down quickly over a short period of time, not over millions of years or billions of years like what you're taught in the government-funded schools.
From October 14th to the 20th, 2019, I set out with 3 other adventurers to Colorado and Utah. We had a great time exploring our marvelous creation in geology. We were looking for the possibility that dinosaurs and man lived together. There was a growing question about man and dinosaurs living contemporaneously. When biological evolution and the long ages of the Earth are questioned, it causes some people to get very upset, raising suspicions that evolutionists do not have it all together, and they seem to be hiding something. We predicted that if dinosaurs and man did live contemporaneously, that there could still be some supporting evidence in the Colorado Plateau and other places around the world. Also, finding soft tissue in dinosaur bones have really raised a lot of suspicions and questions that we are not being told the whole story. We realized the risk we were taking about reporting our findings, and especially by making this documentary that questions an antiquated idea about dinosaurs dying off 65 million years before man. There are scientists out there that believe in the religion of evolution that are very intolerant of any ideas that would question Darwinism and biological evolution. Scientific evidence of dinosaurs living with man would question the whole idea of evolution. So evolution is heavily protected against any scrutiny in government-funded institutions. The problem of having the scientists who believe in evolution do the research is like having the fox guard the hen house. So how do we get reliable research that is not biased? So we set out on a journey that turned out to be a very interesting and inspiring research mission. Please stay with us and try to forget about the one-sided view that you might have learned in school about this questionable idea that dinosaurs lived millions of years ago and that they died off before humans walked this earth. Keep in mind already that evolutionists have been wrong about many living things going extinct. We call these living fossils, which are a huge embarrassment to the evolutionist because these are animals that forgot to evolve. In fact, living fossils are such a great embarrassment to the evolutionists that they want to, and I quote, retire the name living fossil. How many living fossils are there to date? Well, it is hard to find an exact number, but I believe there are hundreds.
To the left over there, that's where we don't want to go. That's the hospital.
ripple marks right here.
The first stop in our scientific investigation is the local dinosaur museum in Fruita, Colorado, so we can see what kind of fossils that have been found in this area. We were in for a big surprise. According to some mainline scientists that believe in evolution, they are saying that this rock is a fossil of a crocodile tail drag mark. Do you see anything that would resemble anything like that? But that is not all. Look at this so-called fossil that looks like two round impressions in the rock. I see designs like that in rocks all over, no matter where I go. But they are claiming that these are dinosaur footprints. Well, if they are claiming that this rock is a fossil of a crocodile tail drag mark, and this rock are fossilized dinosaur footprints, then we have nothing to be ashamed of or even question what we are about to show you.
Now, can you believe that these would actually be dinosaur footprints? They're claiming that's a dinosaur footprint, and I guess this one, and maybe this one here. Why, we've seen better prints than this. In fact, the so-called supposed human footprint I found is better than this. It's more well-defined.
Let's define two terms. A pictograph is a drawing or painting on a surface, like in this case, a rock. A petroglyph is an image carved, incised, or scratched into a stone. In this case, we see two sidewinder snakes. One seems to be trying to eat the other. Today, sidewinder snakes are considered an endangered species in Utah and are rarely found in southwest Utah. These Fremont Indians only drew what they saw.
And we are in Utah going down 9 Mile Canyon. It's really beautiful out here. It's a wonderful day. Okay, here's some petroglyphs.
As I approached this rock with many petroglyphs on it, I was instantly amazed by the obvious drawing of a long-necked, four-legged dinosaur. According to scholars, these Fremont Indians that drew these petroglyphs lived between AD 950 and 1200 AD. That is way before 1821, when the first dinosaur was discovered in England, and before museums. These Indians carved on rocks what they saw. This is strong evidence that dating methods are wrong and puts the whole modern geologic column into question.
first came upon this, I thought, oh, that's nothing, you know. We don't want to sensationalize things here too much. But then the weirdest thing is, I mean, you look here, you know, there's something, and then right here. You know, it's like you got 3 fingers and a thumb. And anyway, so I put my hand in it. It's like my thumb just went inside of a print. This finger went into the print, and this one, and it just feels like, yeah, somebody stuck their hand right there. And so anyway, I don't want to overly sensationalize this. I'm not saying that this is a handprint, but it sure feels like one. So you're probably wondering, what's the big deal? Well, according to evolutionists, no human being lived at the time that all this sedimentary layers were laid down and hardened into rock. They would date this around maybe the time of the dinosaurs, and they would say, oh, no human being lived at this time, so they're biased. Whereas us creation scientists, we don't mind if there's a human footprint or a dinosaur footprint, if there is one or there isn't one. I mean, we'll just go along with whatever evidence presents itself. And so, you know, if this is a handprint, no evolutionist will agree with it, of course, because they've already been convinced that dinosaurs died off before human beings. Here we are just outside of Fruita, Colorado in Horse Thief Canyon. We heard that a lot of dinosaur bones had been excavated from here, so we wanted to see this place. According to evolutionists, this place is 150 million years old.
We found what looks to be an obvious footprint in sandstone, right where dinosaur bones have been excavated. This footprint looks very authentic, especially since the heel of the footprint seems a little deeper than the rest of the print. The print looks like it was made in a muddy environment, which would make sense in a universal flood.
Okay, well, here we are just outside of Grand Junction, and you look around here, and this looks like the Chinle Formation, where we have lots of green volcanic ash everywhere. And we also find dinosaur bones around here, and according to the plaque down there, this place is, well, it represents around 160 million years of history. Of course, I don't have that kind of faith, but here's something that's really interesting. Now, I'm not going to get all sensational here, and I'm going to be real careful about this, so I'm just proposing this. Now, you think about it, if this rock had been laying here for quite some time, there is going to be a high degree of erosion already activated upon it. But what's really weird here is you got what looks like a heel of a footprint, and then you have the curvature, the inside of the foot. Here's the outside. It looks like it's smushed. And right here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. Now, they're really eroded. You know, an evolutionist is going to say there's no way that could be a human footprint because we're living in the time of dinosaurs right here. So they're biased once again. But we as creation scientists, we look at this and we don't care if it's a human footprint or not. Or, you know, we just go by the evidence that we see. So we don't have a bias here. And so it looks like a highly eroded human footprint. And you may not be able to see it as good as we can on the camera. And I'll just come over here and maybe you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, I was trying to think of the arch of the foot. You see the arch right here. So that's the inside of the foot. And then you just see smush marks here. And then it looks like the heel really went into the mud. So I'm not trying to sensationalize things here, but I am trying to be objective and not afraid to point out something like this. Okay, right behind me, hopefully you can see it. This is an image that looks like a pterosaur. It's highly controversial, of course, among evolutionists, and they say that it's something else. And of course, just first thought, I mean, when you look at it for the first time, you can just see the long wings, you can see the crest on its head, long beak, and it definitely does look like a pterosaur. Anyway, there's a lot of history in this area. The gang Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They traipsed around here. It's pretty amazing. And we are in Utah. This is Black Dragon, Utah. Maybe a closer look at it. So you decide for yourself. Does that look like a pterosaur? With a crest on its head, long beak, long wings. Almost looks like it's got webbed feet right here. Pretty amazing. And of course, you know, the evolutionists don't want to believe that that is a pterosaur because they believe that these died off before human beings. And of course, you look at this wing, and it comes way over here.
In conclusion, we have seen not only very interesting evidence of a universal flood that evolutionists cannot explain, rapid solidification of layers of ripple marks and raindrop fossils, but pancake-like layers that only could have been laid down quickly, then very strong evidence of humans and dinosaurs living contemporaneously together in the grand circle.
It's like my thumb just went inside of a print. This finger went into the print, and this one, and it just fit.
All of these scientific evidences help validate the Bible that we are not here by a cosmic accident that evolved from goo. The religion of evolution is not only anti-science, but it offers no hope for humanity. It removes God from the throne and attempts to put man on the throne. Since man has tried to remove God from almost every area of life, death, misery, and confusion settled in to fill the void. Man operating without God has brought in pride and self-destruction. The more people talk of peace and love, the more violence and intolerance for truth spreads.
The forbidden fruit. Their innocence is extinguished. And so for the 10 generations since Adam, sin has walked within us. Brother against brother. Nation against nation. Man against creation. We murdered each other. We broke the world. We did this. Man did this. Everything that was beautiful, everything that was good, we shattered. Now, it begins again.